How's it going, YouTube? Wanted to give a little quick review on a BXT carbon fiber frame. I believe this is a 2018, if I'm not mistaken, T800. I got it surprisingly really quick shipping. I mean, it was within 2 weeks, I believe. I'll double check and maybe on the messages I'll set it up. But it was surprisingly very quick. I'm in Southern California, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But I've heard of other reviews coming from even as far down south as Colombia, a lot in Europe. I've never really seen any in the United States. I think I've seen maybe one, but for mountain bikes. Anyways, I got it really quick. I got a little carried away and already installed I had an old Mega, I forgot the name of it, FSA, um, you know, um, bottom bracket. I'll be using that crank set for now. But really, I just wanted to get this, have it like a low budget, see how inexpensive I could build this up. This is going to be my everyday, kids trailer puller around the neighborhood. Maybe some good rides. I do, once in a while. I'll do 15 to 25 miles every week or so, just to get out there. So I'm not a big avid rider, but I do like getting out there, and wanted to try out a carbon for myself. So cheapest way to go, right? So I got this through Alibaba. Like I said, it came in really quick. It was prices vary, but the prices are pretty legit and pretty spot on. So yeah, let's get into this. So this is a matte finish. Oh, by the way, this is a 50 centimeter matte finish. Surprisingly very nice finish. I was very surprised. Let me see if I get the focus in there. I really can't say there was a whole lot of bad spots or anything like that. I know on the rear chainstay, let's see if I can focus in on that. There's a little nick, a couple little nicks there and there, but not a big deal. That's the box that came in, undamaged. One little puncture hole there, not too bad. Taping could have been a little bit better. The wrapping was pretty excellent. I was surprised at how nice it was wrapped. Again, this is not going to be. I'm going to have flat bars. This is going to be a 1x9. I'm thinking. So it's not gonna. I'm not gonna have no drop bars. No front derailleur, just a rear derailleur. I went with the carbon fiber flat bars. Supposed carbon fiber stem, but it is not. It has a little wrapping around here to kind of make it seem like it is, but it's an aluminum alloy, stem. So yeah, watch out for that. If you could get it, I mean, it was pretty cheap, and actually their customer service was pretty good, and they refunded my money only because, not because it was an alloy, but it came in damaged. Scratches on either end. I think I got it. And of course they said it was from logistics. It wasn't, because it was nicely wrapped, so it wasn't the shipper. It was just them, and I could tell. This is the only bad negative thing that I didn't like, is that it was a scratch. Let's see if I can get it to focus in again. And what they did was they took a black marker and just kind of went over it. Alright, looks like I'm not going to be able to focus in there. Sorry about that. But yeah, that was a bad thing, But, their customer service refunded me, so no biggie. For the price, I think it was $14, but again, it was refunded. So if you don't mind, a cheapy looking stem, go for it. If not, spend a little bit more on a nice stem. I would actually I'm not too happy with the finish on the bars. It's, besides them being really You could tell when the tape was overlapped. It doesn't really have a good clear pattern or anything. It's just, like whatever. You could see where some of the tape overlaps. So it's not a good looking bar. It's really not a good looking bar. I mean, I think the camera is not really doing it justice. It's actually kind of looks like it's helping it out, but I mean, at some points, at some areas, it looks nice. But I mean, obviously, this is going to be covered up. So, but I would actually go with the glossy finish. If you guys, even with the drop bars, I would go with the glossy finish. The center markings are pretty, weak. Um, nothing to brag about. One thing I didn't like, but kind of get what you pay for. The spacing in between the forks and the steerer tube, it's a pretty big gap. Pretty big gap. I measured it at about 2.7 millimeters. There's one little nick right there you can see on the fork. It's another little blemish. Not a big deal. The top gap, probably a little over 2 millimeter, which isn't a big deal. You could see the bearing. It's got a seal in here. It does a pretty good job of sealing the top of the bearing. The bottom of the bearing, not so much. No real seal on the bottom. But I mean, compare. I have my a vent in here, and I mean, look at that. That's on my 2018 event. I mean, no gap at all. Half a mil maybe. That's sexy. But like I said, big deal? Not really. I mean, you could notice somebody will notice. Somebody might say something, but who cares? So it is tapered. So what is it? 1 1/8 on top, 1.5 on the bottom. I think by this point we've all dealt with carbon fiber forks. It doesn't sound any different than higher price forks, just like on my events in here. I mean, obviously these have a little bit more pattern to it, but for the price, I'm actually very surprised at how they feel, how they're built. The overall quality is nice. It's nice. Like I said, I wish I hadn't put these in, but I already did. But this one has the BSA, only because I have extra parts already laying around. I don't want to put a whole lot more money into it. So I'm trying to make this build as cheap as possible. Gonna run V brakes. Stem is pretty good. And everything as far as weight wise is pretty good at what it says on there on the BXT store info. They're pretty spot on. The fork, after actually cutting it down, it goes down about another 30 grams, but everything else was just a little bit, I would say maybe about a good 20 to 25 grams heavier than what it says. But no big deal. Well, I'm talking about the actual fork. I'm talking about the actual stem. I mean, seat post. Sorry. I actually did have some numbers for you, but I don't have them handy right now. So everything's for the rear hanger. These are replaceable. It has a little screw at the bottom, so that's a good thing. Internal cabling is set up. Really, I'm just going to use this one. I'm not using the front derailleur, so this is going to be off. I will be using brakes, obviously, and the other side for the or this side's for the shifter and brakes on the other side. So it comes with extra little clips. I think it came with like six extra little clips, housing clips. so it's a good thing. Yeah, don't lose these when you're ready to do your cables or recable your bike. Don't lose those because you're going to use them later on. Two bottle cage places here, pretty cool. So overall, you know, the seat post it is what it is, you know. But everything is the finish, like I said, is really good. I am surprised at how nice it looks. Since I've not ever owned a carbon fiber frame, you know, hopefully, you know, I think my first few rides are going to be a little slow until, you know, you kind of build up a little bit of confidence in the bike. But I mean, it looks sturdy as hell. It feels sturdy as hell. Like I said, no different, the forks especially, no different feel than higher price forks. We've all dealt with carbon fiber forks at least. Like I said, I'm pretty sure by this point everybody has had one set at least. So yeah, this is it. I'll have another video posted up of the finished build. So like I said, I have an old, not even matching wheels. This is all going to be just a budget bike. I'm trying to get this as cheap as possible. So, you know, you always pick up things. The cranks I ended up getting, you know, pretty cheap. Wheels also. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks.